right, here we are at the Writing Finger, a special holiday edition just for you. We got a lot of things packed in here, but I don't want to give out any spoilers right now. But I can tell you that we are going to talk only about reading. And, if you're not a big fan of writing, probably you can heave a big sigh of relief. Sit back and enjoy this episode. As always, I'm joined in this episode by my fellow reading buff and author Ashwin Karthik. And Ashwin, I'm sure, is having a good time in this holiday season.
Oh yes, very well. And I must first take this opportunity to wish you and everyone listening and watching us today a Merry Christmas.
Ashwin, I'm sure that each of us have our own criteria of selecting a book. And you make no secrets about your love for Harry Potter's, and I'm sure you have your own method of getting there. As far as I'm concerned, I want to get I just get curious about something, or maybe I develop a specialized appetite for a thriller or a suspense, and of course some crafty writing to go with it. And then keep rummaging, making a mess out of the books that I have, and pick up the one that really sounds good. I picked up, for example, just about the other day, I picked up a book called Insomnia by Sarah Pinborough, and that book is basically, it just blew me off. And of course, a bit of the author's reputation also goes with it, because I've read her book previously, which is called Behind Her Eyes. I was really hooked onto that book, and Insomnia uh, had been a fantastic reading experience for me. So, what is your criteria, Ashwin, when it comes to picking up a book? I mean, you just sniff the air and get the book that everybody is talking about in the bookstores, or you make a mess of the books that like I do.
So it's a mix, right? For me, for as you mentioned, I am a Harry Potter fan and a Rowling fan, but right. So when it came to Harry Potter, it actually was sniffing the air. Many of my
Okay.
friends were reading it and they were going gaga about it, and in my town of Chikmagalur, the book wasn't
You know what? If you
available.
sniff the air in Chikmagalur, you smell coffee, right?
And then
Mhm.
I got the first part from one of my cousins who was coming to Chikmagalur on one of the vacations,
Yep.
and I started reading. But then, unless I read it firsthand, I could
Yes.
not relate to the story. But
It was. Can I
yeah,
say that? Okay, it was. Was it a bit of a skepticism with which you picked up the book? Okay,
yes,
everybody's talking about it. It's popular, all right, but okay.
yeah,
I mean,
yeah,
yeah, I'm gonna take it with a pinch of salt.
yes, it was actually more than a pinch of salt to say, because I was not very confident
Hmm.
of reading the whole book, let alone the series, because, because by
Hmm.
the time I picked up the first part of the story, the second part was already in the market.
Right.
So that was my experience of Harry Potter. But then, as you said, I also have I picked up a book
Mm.
just by my own intuition, and that was a book called
Wow. Hmm.
Angels and Demons.
Angels and
Again,
Demons. You mean Dan Brown?
Dan
Okay,
Brown, yes.
okay.
As people know by now, Dan Brown is my favorite author.
I think intuition is a good gift.
Book, books and stories, as they say, are your best friends. If you count,
And like any process in life, I think especially the process of finding out your best friend, you'll have several disappointments before you get to the right friend, the right person, or the right book, isn't
yeah,
it?
of course,
Okay.
yes.
So the second one that I'd like to discuss, Ashwin, is the fact that how much style matters and how much writing itself matters. And if you ask me, I don't know. You could say that I'm a bit I mean a lot influenced by Stephen King's on writing, which is actually a nonfiction memoir of the process in which he started to write. How he kind of faced all the rejections and so on, and how he formed his characters and books, and how the famous books and characters born. So I would say that style for me is essential. It's more than just just giving you the crux of the story. But there are people like Jeffrey Archer. I'm sure you know.
Oh, I
He
was
gives you
about
the
to mention.
story plain and simple, but at the same time, what makes you go on with his books is the way he gives you the twist.
When you talk about style of writing,
Yeah.
I would like to mention James Hadley Chase.
Oh yes, of course.
Yeah, as you might know, that he was one of the best-selling authors in the 70s. I just happened to flip a few pages of the novel, and
Right.
I got hooked on
You
to
remember?
the particular style that he wrote, right? Is very uh, you know, not like most other authors. He would write about
Hmm.
crime and thrillers and all of that, but the particular writing style was
Yes.
very unconventional. The unconventionality in his writing is
Yep.
what kind of got me hooked to his stories, and I happen to read about he has about 90 books to his name. I
Yep.
happen to read 20 of his books. Kind of a very unexpected twists that he would bring in the story
Hmm.
is
Absolutely.
what made readers cling on to his books, and
Absolutely.
all of them were page turners, right? So
Absolutely. Absolutely. I quite agree with you. I think that is a page turner, and the ability to keep the twist at the right place. I think those are the criteria that I think probably I should also add, because yes, that makes me go back to the same author over and over again. All right, so let's
yes,
talk about the third and the most important you know aspect of selecting a book, which is, I'm sure being a Harry Potter fan, about reading a series. A series does interest me up to a point. If I have to talk about, say, the first couple of books, maybe three, four, five, if it's a fantastic series like that the Stephanie Plum series, which is by Janet Ivanovich, who I spoke about, I would go even up to 10 or even 12 or 13. But beyond a point, I think this fact must have even occurred to uh, Rawlings, J.K. Rawlings,
yes,
who stuck to probably what, seven books in that series.
Seven, seven. I agree with you because
Mm,
I think that writing a series is a different skill in itself because the author who writes the series of
mm,
the same story has an added responsibility of maintaining the character of a particular or personality or the persona of every character that he or she decides to keep in the entirety of the series.
yeah,
The other example I would like to quote, with it happens movie brands also. For example,
yeah,
Fast and Furious is a brand that this has been very popular amongst masses. But I feel, especially after the death of Paul Walker, who was the most popular
mm,
actor and character in the series,
yes.
Fast and Furious kind of lost its charm to a great extent.
Absolutely. So yeah, they have a use by date. I think date beyond which they may not hold the same level of interest that they held when the series started. And I would, like to tell you all, who's watching us, if you really believe in, or if you really use the same criteria as we use, should put it on the comments, whatever that you think in terms of your criteria of picking up the books or whatever else that we discussed here.
Till we meet next time, cheers,
Absolutely.
Subramani and Ashwin signing off. Till next time, see you soon. Bye bye.
Bye.